More than 2,000 people joined a protest march in Dublin today to oppose cutbacks and tax hikes. The rally was organised by the Dublin Council of Trade Unions ahead of next month's budget.
Led by hospital cleaners with their wheelie bins and their brushes, today's anti-austerity march began at the Garden of Remembrance and travelled O'Connell Street to College Green and back to the GPO. Gardaí say at least 2,000 people took part in the protest, which was organised by the Dublin Council of Trade Unions, supported by member unions, left-wing political parties and other groups. The organisers say it was the first such demonstration since the general election, called because the new government has continued with the cutback policies of the previous one, and to highlight the need for an alternative approach.
We're saying that if you don't change the principle of cutting further, adding to further austerity, this country is not going to get out of the mess it's in.
With the budget just over a week away and widespread speculation about what pain it will bring, protesters are very clear that they are not happy that more cuts are on the way.
It's the ordinary people, the ordinary workers, the elderly, the sick, and children who are being targeted unfairly in what seems to be coming down the line in the upcoming budget.
It's purely sickened by the whole what's going on here in this country, all the cutbacks.
They're not prepared to bail out homeowners or ordinary people who are suffering through all the austerity measures that have been introduced. I mean, they're proposing to take another €10 off an ordinary family.
Joe McGrady, RTE News, Dublin City Centre.
Up to 800 people protested in West Cork today against feared cutbacks to their ambulance service. The HSE says the changes will be better for everyone in the long term. The protesters say the cutbacks will endanger lives.
They came from the furthermost parts of West Cork, from their island and Allihies, from Drimoleague and Schull, to protest over health service executive plans to change the ambulance services in this area. Currently there are 4 ambulances based in Clonakilty, Skibbereen, Bantry and Castletownbere to cover what protesters say is one of the largest, most isolated areas in the country.
One of our teachers had a heart attack in school in May, and we phoned the ambulance. The ambulance happened to be in Skibbereen. We had the ambulance in 20 minutes. If we have no ambulance service, which you wouldn't be alive today. Rapid response might very well work if you've got an ambulance 5 minutes away, but we don't have an ambulance 5 minutes away. We have an ambulance possibly an hour or 2 hours away.
But the HSE South says it's acutely conscious of the unique nature of the area, and the introduction of rostered staff instead of on-call staff, rapid response cars in addition to ambulances, will ensure, they say, a far better service.
The HSE in the South say they are very keen to reassure people that their plans and proposals will offer the best for the service in West Cork, but it's clear from the turnout here today that people aren't reassured. I think dialogue is the way to go. It's important that they keep us informed.
Jenny O'Sullivan, RTE News, Skibbereen, West Cork.